Really? The firehouse. You make $25 a copy. Don't booze, beer, wine.
Yeah.
Firehouse.
No, I thought it was gonna be
Because there's a lot of, I get a lot of side rock fries.
Yeah.
That game. There's you bring the fries, I don't know what you're saying. No, I don't know if I can. This is Thursday, tomorrow. Weather event. I'm B&I at a restaurant. I hired the B&I chapter.
Ready?
Recording in progress.
Will you all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Amy, can you please read the open public meeting statement?
Adequate notice of this meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Roxbury was given as required by the Open Public Meetings Act as follows. On December 28, 2023, notice was emailed and faxed to the Daily Record, the Roxbury Ledger, the Roxbury Register, and published in the Daily Record. Notice shall also remain posted throughout the year on the bulletin board in the main hallway of the municipal building.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Carey.
Here.
Councilman Crowley.
Here.
Councilman DiFilippo.
Here.
Councilman Paul.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Patillo. Councilman Riley.
Here.
Mayor Albrecht.
Here. Thank you. That brings us to presentations, awards, etc. We have a proclamation for Pride Month. Proclamation Office of the Mayor of Roxbury Township, New Jersey. Whereas the Township Council of the Township of Roxbury recognizes and proclaims the month of June 2024 as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer plus LGBTQ plus Pride Month throughout the township, and whereas the Township of Roxbury recognizes Pride Month to honor the history of the LGBTQ plus liberation movement and to support the rights of all citizens to experience equality and freedom from discrimination, and whereas the Township of Roxbury welcomes and encourages diversity and inclusion within our community, and whereas all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights, LGBTQ plus individuals have had immeasurable impact to the cultural, civic, and economic success of our country, and whereas the Township of Roxbury is committed to supporting visibility, dignity, and equality for LGBTQ plus people in our diverse community, and whereas the society at large increasingly supports LGBTQ plus equality, it is essential to acknowledge that the need for education and awareness remains vital to end discrimination and prejudice. And whereas the Township of Roxbury supports LGBTQ plus people and the protection of their civil liberties and their ability to live openly, equally, and without fear. And whereas this nation was founded on the principle that every individual has infinite dignity and worth, and the Township Council calls upon the people of this municipality to embrace this principle and work to eliminate prejudice everywhere it exists. And whereas celebrating Pride Month influences awareness and provides support and advocacy for the township's LGBTQ plus community, and is an opportunity to take action and engage in the dialogue to strengthen alliances, to build acceptance, and advance equal rights. Now be it resolved that the Mayor and the Council of the Township of Roxbury do hereby proclaim the month of June 2024 to be Pride Month in support of the LGBTQ plus community, dated May 21st, 2024, signed by yours truly, Jacqueline Albrecht. Okay, next we go on to approval of minutes. We have May 7th meeting. Thank you. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call.
Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Councilman Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman DiFilippo.
Yes.
Councilman Hall,
Yes.
Councilman Riley,
Yes.
Mayor Albert.
Yes. Thank you. We are now at our first public portion. If you would like to get up and speak, please do so. Make sure that you state your name and address for the record. Let's keep it simple.
We go here, Matt.
Okay.
Steve Alford, 216 Eland Avenue, Succothana, with my Rotary associate.
Sure.
Good evening, members of the council, Mayor Jackie. Oh, my name's Matt Eisenberg.
Spell your last name for the record
Eisenberg.
and your address, please.
3305 Woodmont Court in Mount Arlington.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the council, Mayor Jackie. Thank you for the opportunity to speak in front of you tonight. I typically don't let misinformation on local Facebook groups get the best of me, but when blatant garbage and filth is spread, especially involving the Asian American community, pizzerias, and other local businesses, I feel no other option than to speak up for those who cannot make it here tonight. Calling the town of Roxbury the massage parlor capital of Morris County is not only ridiculous, but borders on racism and brings underlying hate to the Asian American community, looping them all together as sex traffickers. However, since Tom Saritas has publicly urged residents of Roxbury to come tonight and speak as to their favorite massage parlor, I will do just that. Over the course of the 4 years I've lived here in town, I have frequented Sakura Spa, if not once a week, but many times easily twice a week. In fact, I recommend it to all my friends and family who also frequent the spa and support this small business. Roughly $1 per minute, Sakura gives the best sports massages and foot reps I've ever had, and I've been a member of Massage Envy for years. I'm here to admit they have fixed bouts of sciatica that not even my local chiropractor can fix. Now, not to stroke my own ego, but I happen to be a fabulous tipper, and I'm happy to go on the record publicly that I've never been offered anything more than a small bottle of water on my way out the door. To include Sakura as an establishment giving quote-unquote happy endings in the same conversation as every other Roxbury massage parlor is just sickening. Now please, don't get me wrong. If there's any evidence of human or sexual trafficking that anybody in the audience can bring up and prove, I'll be the first to demand an immediate end to it. And I ask the members in front of me to do the same. And I don't think there's a single member of the community behind me or members of the town in front of me who will disagree. Now, doing my own due diligence, however, I'm able to find any examples or any proof whatsoever of the shadiness going on in locations publicly smeared by Tom, except for the few random, egregious, sickening, and vile reviews left on websites such as ampreviews.com and rubmaps.com, which charge a fee to disgusting people who like to act out their own disgusting fantasies behind a monthly paywall. As I refuse to contribute to these types of hideous websites, I'm unable to comprehend for myself what Tom has been posting publicly. Not to mention, specifically, the Roxbury Police Department has fully investigated Sakura and deemed it a reputable business. Ultimately, watching someone badmouth local spas and pizzerias on a public town forum is deplorable and disgusting. It's also laughable that at the same time this person has publicly badmouthed the Roxbury Rotary Club and expects tagging the mayor of this town on Facebook is going to get her to stop what she's doing and hang a flag back up. And as a proud member of this secret society of Rotarians, I think you're a fool, Tom. And for ages, I've watched you cry foul play over the demolition of a diner that lay dilapidated for years until its ultimate demise. Something that many agree has been a bigger eyesore than any Asian massage parlor or additional pizzeria could ever be. Please do keep successful businesses out of your incredulous Facebook tirades and look to be a better member of town. Falsely reporting made-up garbage with no basis is exactly what harms small businesses. This includes pizzerias as well as other small business establishments. Thank you all for your time. And to agree with Tom Saritas and the rest of the town members, I call for an immediate shutdown of any businesses that provide sexual favors or participate in human and or sexual trafficking. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Good evening, I'm Sue Anderson, 14 Kimball Avenue in Succothana. I'm 1 block away from 51 Main Street in Succothana, which is supposedly the 51 Beauty Spa. I am very upset to see advertisements on websites of these girls, Asian girls, their body parts and everything else. I don't think it's a reputable spa. Maybe it is, but it does other things also. And it's not a massage parlor. It's not for respected people. This is more of a residential area on Main Street. There are a couple of businesses, but there are many homes. I, as I said, live a block up. I have a big picture window, and every day, now that the weather has been wonderful, I see children that live further up the street and on the side streets walking home from school. And I would not want them to be walking past this and seeing anything that they should not be seeing. Our parade for Memorial Day goes past this place. To me, it's disgusting, and if it's not a reputable spa, it should not be in the town. I'm just very unhappy. I know Mayor Albrecht has done some things to try to help the situation, but I'm just saying that I think we all should be aware of this, and you should all take note of this and be on the watchful. They planted a lot of plants along Kimball Avenue side when they bought it. It's to hide the cars that are there. I passed today coming here, and there was 3 cars in the parking lot. I don't know who they are and what they're doing, but I'm just saying they're trying to make it so it's not obvious as to who, and they advertise there's a rear entry, so you don't have to be seen from Main Street. So this puts, my back up, and I get very angry. So these are all things that, why would you advertise a back entry, and it said a private parking lot. So that to me says a lot right there.
Yes, thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
You have something else?
Yes, I do. I wear a lot of hats, sorry. Thursday night, aren't you all gonna be hungry for the barn? Well, I'm part of the Fairmont chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution, and as a fundraiser for our Reefs Across America, where we put reefs at Christmas time on the over 670 veterans' graves in Succothana, we're doing a dine-in fundraiser at the barn from 4 to 10, and all you have to do is put your receipt in. I think it's in a box that's by the, when you leave. But the 15% will go towards buying wreaths to put on the graves. So we would appreciate it if you're all hungry on Thursday night. That's where you want to go.
And what's the save the date for Reefs Across America?
And the save the date is December 14th, Saturday. And usually around 11 we start placing the wreaths, but you can come early for some breakfast, some bagels and some donuts and coffee. And then we have a service at 12 noon in the Presbyterian Church on Main Street. And also afterwards we have a light lunch. So come and help us that day. It's a lot of fun. Scouts come, people come with their kids. It's a good way to honor all these veterans, because I think that's a lot for just the Succothana cemeteries, over 670 veterans, and more keep getting buried there.
We have a brand new one this year.
Yeah, I know. And the other thing is, I'm part of the Roxbury Arts Alliance, so there's a lot of free concerts coming up on Thursday nights in the summer. I have a schedule if you want to know who's playing and what kind of music, but you bring your dinner. It's at 6:30 at the band shell on the island at Horseshoe Lake, and you can listen to wonderful music. They have some pre-concert things like for kids, and the one where they're having a modern country group, you can go early and have line dancing lessons. So we all want to kick up our boots, so please come and support them. Thank you very much.
Sue,
Yes.
the situation you
Yeah.
discussed with it, have you reported that to the police or anybody?
No, I've reported it to our mayor.
And it has been addressed.
Yeah,
And is being addressed.
yeah, yes.
Okay, next.
And I shouldn't say that, I have spoken to the police, but after I spoke to the mayor.
All right, thanks.
Hi, good evening.
Official address for the record.
Christian Lachardi. I live at 88 Eland Avenue. I have a very visible house in the town of Roxbury. I'm very proud of it. I built it myself. I live right on Ocean Lake Park, for those who know the property. And when I started building my house in 2020, I had inquired about this ratty, old barbed wire fence that was around my property. The fence is on town park property. It's not my fence, but it does border my property. In 2020, I was told that it had gotten moved from the budget in 2020 to 2021, that it would happen next year. Then in 2021, I was told that because of COVID, there wasn't the staffing or the funds available to do the fence. And then in 2022, I followed up again, and I was told that not only was it not in the budget for 2022 or 23, it was in the budget for 2024. And now here we are, no work has been done on my fence, and it's a real eyesore. Other than that, it's actually dangerous. You have heaving metal posts coming out of the ground and just rusty chain link fence. So I'm here tonight to ask you, whoever's in charge of maintenance or Parks and Rec, please replace the fence.
So, go ahead.
We have that this year, correct? Yeah, I believe we have, I'm thinking it's all the way around, so that should be, it's just a matter of when.
Go ahead.
We have a fairly large amount of fencing that's going to be replaced this year at Horseshoe Lake. There's that particular area. Also, there's an area on the Ryder Road side that's really not in very good shape. That's also going to be replaced this year.
So that fence will be replaced this year, fence around my property.
We have anything for this year?
Yeah, it's already approved in the capital budget, just a matter of getting it done.
So
Thank you.
That's going to be this year, and the other fence is going to be coming at the same time.
Thank you very much.
We just finished our budget process, so now it's stuff to start working on.
And you do have a very nice property, and I see you got your fence fixed in the front.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, well, that's hard to go through it.
Yeah, and actually right up against his fence, there is a piece of the chain link that's on an angle that the kids were walking on yesterday. Okay, yes, name and address for the record.
Good evening, everyone. John Tone, T-O-N-E, 14 Mechanic Street. I live pretty much in between Jackie and Sue. I myself also have a concern about Spa 51. There are numerous posts available. I think you mentioned ampreviews.net. You can see information about ladies' names, the address of the place, details about their bodily features, how great a time they had, what they paid, all that kind of stuff. They also have a Twitter account where they're advertising pictures saying, you know, this girl, 4 people, available today, text or call. Well, available for what? I believe, Mayor, you and I spoke, and you said they were permitted for facials, and I think someone told me that their zoning is till 9 p.m. So, you know, definitely notice late hours there, vehicles there, late hours, 11, past 11. Several out-of-state New Jersey plates, out-of-state plates. I highly doubt people from New York and Pennsylvania are coming for a facial. I mean, I doubt it. The place is always dark, daytime, nighttime, whatever. It's always dark, so, you know, if they're conducting a business in there, you can't tell. To Sue's point, they did plant new shrubs along the back and along their back fence. They're clearly trying to obscure things. The place is now pasted with cameras. They've got cameras all over the place. It's near homes, schools, bus stops. You know, we're all families here, you know, kids, things like that. It is a residential area. Seems to have, as I mentioned, strong online presence indicating that, you know, illegal activity. And it seems like the clientele is all male. I don't know, guys, myself, but I'm not one for facials. I highly doubt that there's probably 15, 20 guys going in there for a facial every day. You know, these kind of places bring shady people to our town. People that we don't want traversing our roads, you know, with kids' bus stops and whatnot. As Sue mentioned, we've got our parade there. You know, and other things. I strongly encourage the fire department to use extra sirens in a certain part of that street. You know, all I can do is ask that the town apply every legal, civil
John,
possible.
would you like to address this first? So John, our manager, can.
And John, you and I spoke.
Yeah, I spoke to Mr. Tony for a while yesterday, we probably had a good 10-minute conversation, just discuss things in general. You know, it's something we're going to look at, it's gonna take us a little bit of time, we have different codes, we have civil, which is zoning, construction, things of that nature. Whenever any business that goes in has a zoning permit, most of the times they comply, sometimes they don't. So this isn't potentially the only business in town that isn't meeting the requirements of the zoning permit. We go through the process to get that addressed through the zoning department. If there's anything criminal occurring, that's certainly something our police department will handle. It's not something we really discuss here because we don't really discuss, you know, criminal business, and we don't interfere with the police department. But I can assure you, and the council and the mayor will assure you, that the police department here is very astute. They know what's going on. If they don't know what's going on, they find out pretty quickly, and they do a great job protecting all of us. So, anybody here is welcome to contact the police department directly with any concerns or questions, because they'll be happy to speak with you. And it's done in a confidential manner rather than this is a public setting, and it's just not something where we normally discuss criminal activity. But it's something the council, the mayor, will certainly be aware of this, and it's recent, and it's unfortunate that, you know, it may not be in conformance with what it was supposed to be from a permitting standpoint. But like I mentioned, this isn't the only business in town that says they're going to do something and they do something different. May not be to this magnitude, but those things do happen.
Right, as long as they're conducting legal business, that's one thing.
Right.
Potentially illegal business, I mean, you can always suspect
And
trafficking.
due process has to take place, right? So we can't just go in and yesterday close it down because of what we're reading online, because I don't know about you, but I don't believe everything I read online. So
probably
we have to
considered
make
hearsay.
our due diligence. And that's what we're doing as a town and as a police department.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Okay, next. Anybody? Mr. Kluska?
Albert Costa, Evans Road. A few years ago, we purchased an excellent speaker system. I'd just like to remind the council members that when speaking, please remember to use what you've been given there.
Is this better?
Oh, excellent, thank you. I'm not pointing any fingers. Thank you.
I resemble that comment.
Yeah, right. My voice tends to carry a little bit. Anybody else in the public like to get up and speak? Just state your name and address for the record, please.
Hello, Tom Cerritos, Roxbury, New Jersey.
What is your address, please?
Really? Yeah.
I might know, but the general public doesn't.
What if I don't want Widow to Killer Pip to know it? That's
For the
required?
record, your address, please.
Really? I'm a Roxbury resident. Is that required by law?
If you're a Roxbury resident, you can just say your name in a Roxbury.
Okay.
So remember that, Jackie, neighbor. So,
Um,
okay, I have 3 minutes, right? Okay, thanks. I've been in this town for an awful long time. I've been on the zoning board of adjustment with Fred Hall, I've been on the open space committee. I've been a realtor in this county, for 33 years. I've had a real estate brokerage in this town. I'm here to try and provide some solutions. I'd like to end this with a happy ending, this situation. So, why not propose an ordinance? We can control any type of ordinance we want here, right? From a real estate perspective, when I opened my real estate brokerage in town, I had to actually have a real estate broker's license as an owner. All of my realtors had to have real estate salesperson licenses. We had to have continuing education every 2 years. So imagine if we actually had a zoning permit that came in that had the word massage or spa in it. I actually did a little legwork. There's massage therapist licenses in the state of New Jersey. If they're actually boasting that they're going to be doing massages, why don't we pass an ordinance that says you have to have a massage therapist license? And those massage therapist licenses have to have continuing education every so often as well. Why don't we try and regulate this thing as much as possible? So that's one little simple solution, I would think. Also, I'm assuming.
Don't have something in place, Tom?
John, do we have that in place?
Are you sure we don't have?
I think we have it in place.
So everybody that's having a massage right now, they have all their, in real estate, we have to hang, in real estate, we have to hang our licenses up. Every realtor's license has to come up. Really? And when were they, so all these masseuses that are in town, there's been due diligence, and you mean to tell me that Alani, who was just advertised, have you seen Alani's review?
I'm not interested in checking out porn on Facebook.
Thank you, at least you admit it's porn, thank you.
No, that's what you're telling me.
That's what Happy Jack is telling me online. Now, I don't believe everything, but it's circumstantial, right? I get it.
Okay, so.
Is my 3 minutes up? You want to get rid of me, right?
No, we do have, they do need licenses.
So I looked up some other things. It says 6 types of massage parlors you want to avoid. Obscure windows, rear entry, and also an unbelievable amount of security. A lot of these places in this town have obscure windows. You don't know what's going on inside. A lot of them have rear entries, back door. So why don't we stop fooling ourselves and try and do, now I know you're doing something. I know what you did already, and I appreciate that. And this is a long process. We have to have the authorities do this. There's only so much that we can do. I'm just giving you a suggestion with regards to actual licensing potential
So,
and
the
ordinances.
answer we have it. We have licensing. They are supposed to be licensed.
Yeah, I get it.
Supposed to be.
I know. So, and enforcement. So, I remember when I was trying to do Tom's Diner, the code enforcement officer was at my diner every day. Somebody planted a couch behind my diner.
Okay, that's
And
three
they,
things.
yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I bet.
And in the room across the hall here, because I was $250 short on a $2,000 fine for a couch, my ankles were shackled and my hands were cuffed, and I did 5 days in county jail. Why don't you weaponize your lawfare against these illicit buildings
Thank you, Tom.
and businesses? You're welcome, neighbor.
No. Anybody else? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the first public portion, and we will move on. John, do you have anything to say about, the violations and to close it out?
Yeah, just that, you know, we have an ordinance, we certainly will take a look at whether it needs to be updated or not, but keep in mind that, as Mayor, as you said, you know, something could be going on illegal in a house, in a business that's running a restaurant. And someone could post online that something inappropriate is going on there. And if it is, we certainly want to address it, but if it isn't, we wouldn't go and try to license it. So this business right now, it is opened up, it's not a massage parlor with licensed people. If it's operating in that fashion, we'll certainly try to address that to the best of our ability. But things, like I mentioned earlier, things happen that people aren't permitted for, and when they are, we have to do the best we can to try to address it, investigate it, and correct it as much as possible. It doesn't happen overnight, and as everybody knows, that everyone has the ability to have privacy. There are search and seizure rules that are guaranteed by the Constitution that we all enjoy. So we have to be careful when we do that. If we do things like that, we have the county attorney assist us. Whenever it's criminal, they have the county prosecutor assist them, because again, we don't want to violate anybody's rights. And sometimes that's a little bit frustrating because it might take a little bit longer than we want it to, but that's just the system we all live in, and we enjoy the benefits of it also. So,
So the township does have an ordinance to control massage, body work, and somatic therapy establishments. They're required to be licensed. The licenses have to be posted, inspections have to be done. So if that didn't occur, then we certainly have the authority to go in and shut it down under the ordinance. So, you know, I just suggest that the zoning official and the construction official and the health officer, you know, tomorrow, look at section 4-22 of the township code and make sure that everything that was set forth in that ordinance and the requirements have been complied with. And if they haven't, we need to take appropriate action.
Okay. Perfect, thank you. Yes, Mr. Riley.
Yeah, tonight's the first I'm hearing about this. It's the first I'm hearing about it. But I actually appreciate the response the mayor gave earlier, our town manager and our township attorney, due diligence. Just because somebody says something, somebody's doing something, we just don't walk in there and shut it down and find out later somebody had a beef against them. We end up getting sued. So, you know, there is due diligence, whether it's through the health department, the zoning department, or the police department. We we have to find out what it is, and again, due process, everybody's entitled to due process, including everybody here. So, again, I certainly don't want a business like that.
Neither do I.
So I think I'm speaking for everybody. But we can't just assume something's happening and shut it down because we assume something or because an individual says something.
And it is in my backyard as well, and I am very upset about it. And we're doing what we can with legal measures. We can't just fly off the handle. Okay. So moving on. Number 9, introduction of proposed ordinances. We have 14-24, an ordinance. Oh, I'm sorry. I just spoke the. All right. Our reports of council liaison representatives, council committees, and new business, old business. Sorry about the guys. Reports of council liaisons. We'll start with Councilman Hall.
I'll try to keep this positive going through this. We had the beach blast, everybody, when you get an opportunity, it's on the 31st. It's a great event, it's free, great music. Steve, thanks for volunteering to MC it. I guess you didn't know about that, I'm telling you now. So it's a great event, folks. So if you have an opportunity, please come out. A huge thank you every year to Steve, who arranges for all of the folks within the township that pay for the actual fireworks themselves to the tune of $15,000. And Steve, I'm going to get these names wrong, but I'm sorry, I'm going to read them because I'm just proud of these people. The Alvin family, Bobby, Kathy, Nicoletto, Tim Smith and family, Roxanne and Anthony Vano, Brilliant Solution, PJ's Auto Body, Daniel Wilson family, RJ Construction, Nicholas, Lisa, Realty Executives, Tammy Abruski and Lisa Desario, the Abruski team, Viju Sada, MD, Valley Pharmacy and Surgical Supplies, Roxbury Garden and Nicholas, Sinclair and Dunkin' Donuts, and Morton Agasinski, other instant. Big thanks to all these people. I think it's great, the support that you just want to make it known. So if you get the opportunity, please come out. It's great event, everybody. Memorial Day Parade is next Monday. Please come out for that also. Also, we're going to be applying for a grant. I'm going to turn it over to our town manager, John Shepard, on this one. If you remember correctly, the Roxbury Rotary, 2 members here right now, did a wonderful job at the Triple Lakes area. They cleaned out that whole area. It was just a colossal mess in that area. But now we've got to do some replanting, and we got to move on to phase 2. So I talked to Steve about this. So we're going to try to obtain a grant to help us raise some money in order to do those planting. I'll turn it over to John.
Yeah, Fred, thank you. I know that you've been working with the Environmental Commission, and they actually located a grant source that we weren't aware of. It's private. It's through the Raritan Headwaters Association. They have grant money available, I think through Highlands Council, for planting, for native plantings that we can actually get and utilize for the Black River Project. Council recalls, we included some money in our budget in 2024 for those plantings, and Rotary included a lot of that work for it. So it was a combined effort. We were partnering on it. So if we submit this grant application and are successful, we'll be able to get a lot of that plant material, native plant material that we want, and utilize it for this project, which will certainly save the town money. So council doesn't need to take action as long as there's no concerns about applying, because there's no resolution needed for this, like there is a lot of the state grants that we apply for. We have reviewed the grant application with Buzz, some needs. Fred's looked at it, I've looked at it. There's no strings attached. The only strings attached to this from the American Headwaters Association is to maintain the plants for a 4-year period. We plan on maintaining them anyway for a long time. We're hoping they grow and they flourish and they stay. So,
And they should have been native species.
It'll help them. They'll even help with planting if we need it from advice and guidance. I think with some of the Rotary and some of the people that are in Rotary, we don't need that, but if we need that, they'll even provide us assistance with planting and proper planting techniques and things like that. So
do receive it. The good news is that we're teaming up with Rotary to actually do the installation of those specific peach shrubbery that we hopefully will be getting through the grant. So nice, it would be a nice teamwork effort on this. I wasn't able to attend the Color Fun Run, but again, big thanks to Steve. I know it's going to a good cause, and thank you to Roxbury Rotary again for everything that they do, because they raise a lot of money for people in need. I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Crowley.
Thank you, Mayor. Attended the Lake Foundation block party last Saturday. And this is 4 towns, 2 counties. Michelle Allen spent the day in our Roxbury booth. The police had a booth, fire, EMS, were out in front. What a great show. Kellyanne Keys, who worked very hard with all the towns for getting the shrink wrap out and not going into this garbage, but actually getting recycled. Was there all day again, running a booth. So we're, I guess, 5 or 6 booths. I know that Daughters of American Revolution also had a booth there. It was just a fantastic event. I really want to thank all the volunteers and all the people who put their time in to make Roxbury great and something like that. This week we also had a Lake Pancom Commission meeting. We also had an open space meeting. One thing that did come up, I'll ask John to comment on, is in the, I guess it's a grant that we're looking for from the Highlands Council to work on basin. We've heard about this at our neighborhood meeting at Signet Drive. John, there's some dates that the council has to try to make to get this to the Highlands.
Yeah, we're actually waiting for the proposal again from Highlands Commission, also through Princeton Hydro, who does a lot of their grant applications. Again, on their behalf, if council's in agreement, we're going to submit a grant application again to deal with the one basin. I anticipate getting that information from them by the end of this month, and then in one of our meetings, probably our first meeting in June, if council's willing to apply for the grant, we'll do that on behalf of the commission, work with them. Depending on what it is, we may ask Colleen to come to the meeting, maybe the council meeting we actually have, they can explain it, or some of our staff, just so if there's any questions on it. Sometimes they're better answering them than we are, because they're doing it more directly. And again, as council knows, a lot of these grant applications we're submitting to Highlands. For the lake, we did one from Lake Muscatecon River. We're applying for them because that's who's getting the funding from Highlands rather than the commission. So we'll stay tuned. We'll bring more information. It'll probably be our first meeting in June.
I just want to bring it up because there is a time schedule on it, I believe, because it has to get to the Highlands by July the 8th or something.
Right.
If I remember correctly. And next is the Memorial Day Parade. Very anxious to have that next Monday. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Riley.
Let's see, what has been done? Memorial Day Parade, neighborhood meeting last week was fantastic up at the senior center. One thing from the planning board, the Hercules general development plan, not the site plan, will be coming up for a vote sooner than later. They probably have 1 or 2 more meetings left there, by putting on testimony. But now we'll be listening to the public and professionals we might have as well. So.
And what day is that?
I don't have the date on me for that night, for that meeting.
I believe the next Wednesday, they're on the agenda of the planning board a week from this Wednesday.
So, the 29th?
Does that sound right?
Does that sound right?
No, June 4th.
June 5th. Oh, I actually have it on my calendar. So, June 5th is our next Hercules planning board
The
meeting.
next planning board meeting in Hercules is on the agenda right now.
Okay.
They're putting on no more, they have no more, testimony.
No more testimony? So, they're going to start summarizing.
No, now the public will get a chance to talk about different things and our professionals will have a chance.
So you got that, Linda? Now you can ask all your questions.
So this is just dedicated to our 2 planning board members. This is specifically, most definitely, just for the public to raise any issues and concerns.
Not just the public, our professionals as well. They're done with their testimony, so we'll put on anything we want to or have questions with. But most testimony's done, all the questions back and forth are done, so the public will have their opportunity now, as well as,
Folks, I'm sorry for this is a really big opportunity for you to come out for this, so if you have any concerns about the development that's occurring in that particular area,
you need to know anybody? It's 2.5 million square feet of warehousing that's being proposed for the Hercules site. So if you can imagine 2.5 million square feet of warehousing and all of the truck traffic that entails. And that's what we're talking about. How many super markets does it equate?
Well, as planning board members, I think Bob and I don't need to talk about this,
Okay.
we are,
Gotcha.
of it, so,
It's just that we urge the residents to attend planning board meetings. We think that would be a good thing for them to do.
Okay.
Can we live stream planning board meetings?
What was that?
Can we live stream planning board meetings? Or Symphony does?
If the council wants to correct me, but I believe it's against the law to stream those meetings, planning board meetings.
I don't think it's a stream, but you can't have it interactive because of not being different presentations. You can live stream.
You could live stream, you just can't have interaction.
Correct.
No interaction. Thank you.
Yep, that's it for me.
Councilman DiFilippo?
Monday night, the Chamber of Commerce, Roxbury Chamber of Commerce, another great group in town that does a lot of good, had its taste of Roxbury, which was wonderful. It's amazing how many restaurants show up and the variety of different foods, and there were, Fred, you were there, how many people? There were hundreds of people.
It was sold out.
It was sold out.
It was sold out.
The place is completely packed. You get an opportunity next year to go to this thing.
Yeah.
It's worth every penny, it really
Get
is.
your tickets early, yeah.
The only negative about it was seeing Mr. DiFilippo up there taking a picture with his guitar.
Well, I didn't see that coming, Fred. Just a nice night, a lot of people in Roxbury who think Roxbury is a great place to live in, and I agree with that. And as my colleagues have mentioned, there's a planning board meeting coming up that people should attend. I don't have anything else, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Carey?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As Councilman DiFilippo said, I think our citizens should be concerned about when really look into the project that's before the board for the warehousing and think about the impact it's going to have on the community. The only other thing that I had was the Board of Education recognized their retirees their last meeting, and that's basically all I had.
Great, thank you. And let's see, what do I have? All right, so I'm going to start out with, we had a Great Lake Attack on Block party. I was able to judge a first aid club competition, which was really a lot of fun at County College. We had our Color Fund Run, which benefited 2 families within Roxbury Township. Our Rotary Club is giving out hot dogs at the Memorial Day Parade Monday. And we also have, on June the 2nd, we're going to be dedicating a street blade to Charlie Alpaw. No, it's not what you thought. We're going to be dedicating a street blade to Charlie Alpaw. It's going to be on West Circuit Drive in front of his house in honor of his over 50 years as a Roxbury firefighter, all around great volunteer, and also to commemorate his time in the Army.
Boy, if anybody deserves a street blade, I'll tell you.
It's Charlie,
You
right?
wanted to point to somebody that the street blade program was designed for. Charlie.
So the location of the street blade is right, it sits directly between his house and his daughter Dawn's house. So it's going to be a great day, 10 o'clock in the morning, if you'd like to come and help us celebrate and honor a very special man whom I miss dearly. And then last but not least, at the Lake Pacon block party, I was able to utilize the mobile MVC to get my real ID. How can we get that to come to Roxbury? Because I got a few inquiries from my senior citizens that would love to have it come to our senior.
And I know somebody in Trent.
When
would you like?
We'll pick a date, because I know my seniors specifically, if they can just roll up to the senior center.
Can we do it on a meeting date?
Yeah.
On a Thursday?
That'll take care of all the complaints like that.
I don't know.
Oh, we can't do that, we can't do it because we have to do it twice.
I don't know if they'll do it at night, but, we can probably get them over to Worcester Lake at the senior center.
That would be amazing. So that is on my radar to get that in Roxbury. And let me tell you something, they were so pleasant. It's not like going to the brick and mortar NBC. It was quick and easy, 15 minutes in and out. I highly recommend it. Yeah. And I think that if my seniors, definitely, if they have more notice, they'll be all over this because it saves some trips and whatnot. Yeah, I think it's a really great idea to concentrate on the seniors. So that's, my little project coming up for the summer. All right? Amy, do you have anything?
No, I do not, thank you.
John?
Just one item, Mayor, and it's really a follow-up on the Taste of Roxbury event that was last night. It really, I sit on the chamber board on behalf of the township, and I do want to pass along from the chamber because they are very happy that the mayor and the council support the event. What I mean by that is this Taste of Roxbury is the biggest fundraiser for the Chamber of Commerce. They can do a lot of their business functions. And some years ago, where they were hosting the event, the costs were going up. It was going to be expensive for them to host the event because it really eats into their goal of making some money for the event. So we moved the event to Horseshoe Lake. Rick and Steve's guys take care of all the setup. We have a great venue for it, which I think is probably the best venue where it's ever been in. And we assist them with that. We don't charge them anything for it because we're a member of the chamber and we're assisting them. So they're very appreciative. I just wanted to pass that along from them because if we didn't do it at Horseshoe Lake, to be quite honest, I'm not sure if they can do this event anymore. It just wasn't working at other places, and they're very appreciative. I wanted to pass that along because I think sometimes that goes unnoticed that what the town does to make this event happen. So just that's a thank you from the Chamber of Commerce and the Council.
Big thank you to you and your staff, John.
Yeah, really.
It was a really great event.
It's a great venue for it too. It really is. That having the multiple rooms and to accommodate a lot of people. So very nice. Thank you.
Okay, Tony, Senator?
All as well, except for maybe a place we gotta do an investigation.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. And no new business, old business matters requested referred by council member, manager, attorney, or clerk? No. Brings us to introduction of proposed ordinances, 14-24. An ordinance to amend and supplement chapter 2 Administrative Code, section 2-17, officers and employees generally of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Roxbury, County of Morris, State of New Jersey. May I have a motion?
I'll move to introduce 14-24.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
Just a quick question,
Sure.
John, maybe double check the grades.
Yeah, we did that. In fact, what we're doing pretty much here is we're just setting up the rates for the majority of the positions, and then council the next meeting go over the resolution to adopt most of those specific salaries. So we've looked at this, and council's aware we've moved a few of the job classifications around just to make them work better for us.
Thank you.
Okay, roll call.
Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Councilman Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman DiFilippo.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor Albrecht.
Yes, thank you. Hearing and adoption of ordinances on second reading, there are none. Introduction and adoption of resolutions.
I'll move 2024-137 to include 138 through 150. I'm sorry, I take that back. I need to abstain on that.
Okay.
I'll move 140.
You want all of them, Bob?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I'll move on.
And then we need a second.
Second.
Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Councilman Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman DiFilippo.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes, with an abstention on 140.
Mayor Albrecht.
Yes. Thank you. That brings us to personnel changes, of which there are none. Communications, May 17th. Nothing, anybody? Okay.
Jerome.
Okay, John, come on up.
John Doe, 14 Mechanic Street, Southern New Jersey. So, related to the mobile NBC, Laura Dunn sponsored it here at Horseshoe Lake, September 29th, 2021.
Excellent.
I know because I went, it was an awesome service. It was amazing. It was cold as hell that day, but it was really cool. A little bit familiar with the Hercules project. I think it's being run by Art Mountain, is that the company, and you know, I've read all sorts of stories, you know, they have pockets, they can just kind of run everybody dry. The only thing I can suggest to you guys is make the requirements such that they can't overcome it, right? Roxbury needs new fire apparatus. Maybe you gotta give us 2 to cover that big property, or, you know, those fields that you wanna put in, maintain them for 10 years for us, you know, the bubble that the school's talking about. Make them pay for that, put it over there, you know? I mean, just make it so that they can't, you know, they'll see these guys are a pain, we're not gonna deal with that anymore. So, just my 2 cents, guys.
Thanks, John. Name and address again.
Matt Eisenberg, 3305 Lamont Court. I think you came in late. You weren't here to hear what I said. Yeah, I just want to kind of follow up because it's so dangerous to say slanderous and stupid things about a business when you don't know what you're talking about. Watched a movie last night called Dumb Money. How people get on Reddit message boards and spew lies and garbage and manipulated the stock, and people made money and lost money. Let's see. I worked in Morris Plains growing up, and I worked in the De Pasquale shopping plaza. I worked in a jewelry store there. De Pasquale, all their windows are blacked out, and they have a rear entrance. Okay, to come up and say, you know, it's definitely a whatever it is because the windows are blacked out. When you walk into Massage Envy in Morris Plains on Route 10, the windows are blacked out. It's nobody's business who sees you going in and going out. So, if there is a problem with this 51 place, absolutely it should be shut down. But definitely, you know, because a couple of weirdos and freaks post the stuff on the internet, just be careful. You don't want to shut down a business that may or may not be what it claims to be. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. It's another holiday. Name and address.
Sue Anderson, 14
I
Kennel
know.
Avenue, Second
We're
New
gonna have to
Jersey.
put a limit on your topics.
Yes,
Only
I
for
know.
you, Sue.
No, I just want to know, what are the dates of the public meetings? I know you had one already, was it?
We had 2 already.
2.
Next one is in October, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
They're on the calendar, Sue.
They're definitely on our town
They're
calendar.
on the town calendar?
They
All
are.
right, I will look then. I'm sorry.
Berkshire Valley is the last.
Berkshire Valley's the last one in the fall. That
Yeah.
was in the fall.
Okay, and that's the last one then in October?
Yeah, so we have the first 2 April, May,
Yes,
or
okay.
March, April. Landing's train station, and then we have the senior center, which we just had.
Okay.
And then the fall is Lower Berkshire Valley.
Okay, so you do 3.
We do 3.
Okay, because I know you used to do 4, I thought.
Yeah, your cat used to be called.
Yeah. Thank you.
October 15th is our next neighborhood meeting at the Lower Berkshire Valley Firehouse at 7 p.m. They do begin a half an hour earlier.